let's take the long way out of this town. And no, let's drive and drive until we just can't hear another sound. And no.
Hey, my name is David, and I sing in the Mission District.
My name is Antoine, and I play bass and keyboard in the Mission District.
My name is Travis, and I play guitar in the Mission District.
I am Rob, and I also play guitar in the Mission District.
And I'm Mike, and I play drums, and we are the Mission District.
Yeah, the band started probably a little over 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. It was in the ashes of another band that me and Travis and Rob had. And when that band split up, the three of us started jamming. Antoine joined pretty much right away after about a month. And the four of us kind of wrote the initial batch of songs, and we went through a couple of drummers, and then Mike joined us probably
about a year and a half ago.
About a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and even less probably.
No, a little more than that.
A little more than that. Yeah. Oh, it was a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, whatever. Mike joined about a year and a half ago, and then we've been pretty much this lineup since. And we've been recording in the UK because our label is based there. So basically, we're working with Andy Green, who produced the first two Keen records. He produced The Feeling, a bunch of other pretty good British bands. And it's been great working with him. And we did a little mini tour as well in the UK in late November. And then we're a Simple Plan. That was great. And then we're heading back to the UK next week to do about a 5-week kind of small club tour. So.
And finish the album.
And then our single, like I was saying, for single Heartbreaker, probably available in May, and the album probably a little later in the summer. So.
Youth games at some point in the summer, yeah.
Yeah, the record probably somewhere in the summer.
Now, you guys touring the States, or do you have a bigger following in Europe?
We're really focused on England right now because that's where everything is happening first, but we will be touring in the US as well, probably later in the summer. So.
What type of clubs are you playing, and who are you playing with?
Well, we're in the UK. We're playing small clubs, 200-300 capacity every night. The tickets are really cheap. We're trying to keep it fun and just trying to get as many people as we can out to see us.
There's definitely the transatlantic appeal of like crossing over and crossing the pond. And I know as long as there's been like a recorded music industry, any UK band has always dreamed of coming over to America.
Yeah.
And any North American band has always dreamed of, having their music take them over there. And I mean, it's an absolute dream come true, and it's such a blast to be able to go.
I think touring also is just generally a big high. I think it's just constant. Every day you see another place, and you're just getting this rhythm of playing every night. The set gets tighter and tighter, and it's just a kind of constant adrenaline rush, which I don't think you don't really get when you're not on tour.
So I like to really get in touch with people who listen to our music. So when they come visit like MySpace, like .com/the Mission District, and write us like a message. We develop relationships with them, so when we go to these new places, we actually have some friends to show us around and kind of like get us familiar with the area. So.
You just touched on an interesting thing. So you guys are active on MySpace?
Very much so, yeah.
Facebook as well, and Bebo, and
Twitter,
and all the.
Really, the whole online world is how
it's
we've
just
helped
good
get
to
the name for the band out, and how we've made so many new fans just from people all around the world being able to hear our music that we can't physically go and play for.
It's kind of funny because a lot of the people that we take the time to write back to when they're speaking to us are just surprised to hear from us at all, because you have so many people who just don't even bother to get back in touch with new friends and stuff. So it's just kind of a good way to start building relationships with the people who matter the most.
People complain about the internet as being like a tool for piracy and stealing music and getting everything for free, but it's also like it's nuclear power for communication. You're actually able to contact so many fans and actually relate to these people, like just through words, but then you're going to get the chance to play for them and put faces to names, which is great.
What do you think of the whole internet piracy versus the bands who are giving it away for free, just trying to build a fan base?
It's really, I think there's both good and bad, I'd say. I think that it's hard to say black or white, it's all good or it's all bad. I think that the good side of it is that the sharing of information on the internet, I think, can only help to spread the word about it on a band. So in a sense, the fact that kids are trading our files on peer-to-peer networks, I think it's a good thing, because especially at this stage, it's a great promotional tour, and it really does help to spread the word about a band. The only thing I worry about on a certain level is at some point they're going to have to figure out a way to monetize it, because tour support doesn't come from nowhere. I mean, you know, when a band goes on tour and a label is able to support a band on tour, it's because of other people have sold records that are allowing this company to support you on tour. So,
but as Dave was saying, like as an artist and someone who's trying to make a living, I would prefer that someone went out and bought our album, because that just means that we're going to keep being able to go on and keep making music. But when everything comes down to it, I would rather that someone was listening to our music and enjoying it than not listening to it at all. There's been so many technological advances that people claimed were going to destroy the music industry. At first, the cassette tape was going to destroy the music industry because people could record their records to cassette tape. And, you know, the internet, it was going to, and it's just a matter of the industry, the music industry, taking the time to use these technologies, and it's never going to go away.
And the tape trading, I think, with bands, you know, like the Grateful Dead or Fish or any of these kind of bands, I think it only encouraged the cult phenomenon around these bands, because it was really word of mouth. And even though they weren't necessarily bands that sold the most amount of records on a live setting, you know, they're bands that always drew tremendous.
Well, they're
crowds.
the most dedicated, like the most dedicated fans, because these are people who know that every show is going to be different, and that's the dynamic of the band, and they embrace that fully, and they want to have every single show that if they can't have been at the show, then they want to be able to hear it, and that's absolutely respectable.
Now, speaking of that, I mean, with Fish just reuniting, and read the articles that tickets were going for $1,000 a piece in the parking lot. I mean, do you guys ever see getting to that point? Do you envision that?
As a band, we are a fairly pop rock band, and our goal is to be as big as we possibly can be, and get our music out to the most amount of people. On the other hand, I think that when you get to these high ticket prices, I think that also you have to be careful, because I think people will start to feel cheated with these crazy, ridiculous ticket prices. And I know that now with like Live Nation merging with Ticketmaster or something like that, there's been a lot of outcry over the ridiculous amount of fees and the way they fix ticketing. So I think it's important to make your show accessible to and not cheat your fan, even if you're the biggest band on the planet.
All right, last question. It seemed like in the last few years, every band known to man has reunited. I mean, you've got Fish, you've got Smashing Pumpkins.
Well, there's a lot of these rock stars that have sort of had big dreams and say, I'm going to have a big solo career and I don't need to work with these guys anymore, and it just hasn't worked out like that. Like with Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
I mean, he started Swan, and I think he just assumed that it was just going to keep on going on the way it had been, and no one really cared all that much.
There's definitely a lesson to be learned from that. And sometimes when we fight, it makes me think, okay, maybe I should stay with the band for a bit longer. Maybe this works better as a team.
Yeah.
Mission District Reunion Tour 2020.
The thing is, like all these bands that are reuniting now, I think it's just like a journey of kind of self-realization for the members who caused the split up in the first place. Because they set out and they think they're going to have a huge solo career, and then they get humbled like drastically in many cases, and kind of crawl back to what they're familiar with their tail between their legs.
So I think sometimes that no matter how bad personal problems between some people might be, they can be smoothed over a little bit by getting briefcases full of money presented to you.
Please come and check us out on myspace.com/The Mission District. You can hit us up on Facebook, Bebo, Twitter. Am I forgetting some stuff?
Reverb Nation.
Yeah, and also we're gonna have this this new web TV show that should be pretty entertaining. It's starting on June 1st. youthgames.tv. We've been getting footage for about 1.5 years now, so we have hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage, and we're trying to really compile it into these small episodes so that so we just basically cut all the boring parts and make it into something that I think is quite entertaining. So youthgames.tv, June 1st.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.